Alright, so we're going to start off with the wig. He has been in the bag for a little while, so he's a little beat up. He needs some refreshing. I am totally putting this on completely wrong. I got it right at first, and then I twisted it the wrong way, so it is what it is. Alright, now that I've got that down correctly, we're going to go in with our straightener. I'm going to use this one. I don't know what it's called. It has been with me since high school, I think, or something. So like 15 years. So yeah, I'm going to keep using that. So what you want to do is curl it and then hold it in place. It might be a little warm. You can use a heat protecting glove if you'd like. But I just do it with my hands because I have hot hands. Alright, and we're just going to keep curling away our problems. I like to frame the face, so I usually curl the pieces away from my face at the split. And then I like to do some like flyaway ones that are on the top, so I'm going to take a couple pieces on the top and curl those outward. You can take your fingers and scruff it up a little bit, see if that's the right fluffiness that you want. Play with it until you're happy, and then that's really about it for the wig. Anyways, I was live while I was doing this, so don't mind me. Found a flyaway, cut that out. We're going to spray it with It Mega Freeze. One of my favorite hairsprays. I also use Got to Be Glued. It's one of my secondary favorites. Got to Be Glued I used for my lace front wigs. And yeah. So now we're going in with my water-based paint. But first, we're going to do the all-nighter primer to help keep the paint in place. I normally use a setting spray as my water, quote-unquote. But today I realized I was almost out of setting spray, so I did not use the setting spray as my water base. I used actual water this time. From here, after I did my first layer of just wiping it on, I'm going to dab to build up the color a little bit so that it doesn't look streaky as well. We're just going to repeat the process for our neck/shoulders, starting with swiping first and then adding in more with the dabbing motion. Make sure you get like right behind the ears if your wig is pretty short, and also right underneath the ears. Also, don't forget to paint the actual ears as well. I just used the same sponge I was using. You can use a separate brush. I was feeling lazy though. And if you ever get anything on your shirt or anything like that, since it is a water-based paint, you can just go ahead and use a rag and water and it'll come right off. Or a dry rag. It came off with a dry rag. This is my color book by Revolution. It's all my blues and greens, and this is what I'm going to be using to shade and contour everything. So really I used that color and then the one to the left of the olive green. I didn't use the olive green this time. I used the blue green that was next to it to contour and shade all of my structures that I have washed out with paint. I try to do a very strong cheekbone. I also do a little cleft chin marking because it just makes my face specifically look more masculine. Because I have such a small face, I sometimes have a hard time looking more masculine, so I give myself a little cleft chin. Now at this point I realized that my small brush was just being too harsh on my cheeks, so I used a fluffier brush. It worked out a lot better for contouring my cheekbones and like large spaces in general, whereas the smaller one is meant more for like the nose area and stuff like that. So I'm contouring my cheekbones, my jaw, and my temples, and then later I'll go in with the small brush and contour my nose. And it's time to contour the nose. So we're going to use those same shades and we're going to go from like just above the button of your nose all the way up to the brow bone. We don't want to go past that button part too much, just a little bit, and then we're going to drag it down on the sides. So we're going to get a tall bridge this way. We don't want to go too far down on the nose because we don't want it to look smaller. We want it to look sharper. So we're going to bring that up to the brow bone and down to just before the button, not towards the button, not on the button, I mean. And then we're going to shadow just right underneath our nose as well to give it that illusion of height. Using those same colors again, we're just going to give them a little bit of like eye baggies, just a little bit, not too much. And then we're going to shade our crease as well to give some depth to the eyes. Oh, look at me, I found my ears. And this is where everything starts to go south and my video stops working and I lost the rest of the footage because I couldn't get it on this phone because my storage was at capacity. So oops, that's my bads. And I didn't feel like stopping to delete a bunch of stuff first, so I just kind of kept going with my life. Pretty much all I end up doing is doing more shading, adding some browns and then putting green over top and smudging it in and essentially just blending out some darker colors to give myself some more depth, I guess is the word. I don't know. Here I'm going in with my Sephora's liquid liner in Satin Forest Green, which matches the wig basically perfectly. I'm doing small strokes in the shape that I want just to give him a little bit more of a natural looking brow rather than a very angular brow, which I usually do for my feminine characters. So the part that I didn't get recorded was the fact that I did some contouring on my neck, on my Adam's apple, my collarbones, and the little dip right here. I also painted my lips green and then added a shadow to make them a deeper green, and that's about it. I added black to my waterline, and that's literally all I did after that. And then adjusted as needed wherever. Thanks guys for watching. Bye!